doing it.
Welcome back to episode 2 of HardCore Fiction.
Woo woo!
Today we're going to be talking about scary movies. And while we're doing that, we're going to be playing Limbo. So, get ready to enjoy.
He's playing, I'm not playing because I suck at games.
Here with my lovely, lovely lady again. And we just got done watching, the last, 3 or 4 days we watched the Insidious films.
Yeah, if you can call him that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how all that matched up with us. I don't know, the first one started off pretty good. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, especially like just the whole thing in itself, but afterwards it just kind of felt, I don't know, weird. The other one's just kind of lost the tones.
I've seen the first one quite a few times, so by the time I saw it again with you, it's just like, because I've seen it, and then especially the one that I saw fresh, I didn't like it.
Well, I don't know, it was fresh when I seen it. It was different because I hadn't watched like the Paranormal Activity movies, and I hadn't watched any of the other stuff.
Oh, Paranormal Activity movies is a different podcast because I have lots of things to say.
I mean, we can do it all. I mean, we are just talking about ghost, I guess, movies in general, and demonic possession, horror, poltergeist / movies, I guess, all around.
And how they should be good, and they usually aren't.
Be good. They should be good. While we're doing that, I'm gonna wake this little guy up. Wake up, guy. Wake up.
Wake up.
Oh, there he is. Oh, nice.
Oh, he's thinking about it. Is that his
Hello.
thinking? Oh, those are his eyes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I forgot his eyes glowed like that.
Yeah. This is like, I don't know. We picked Limbo for one. It's a easy and fun game to play, and I felt the setting really went with the whole Spookums movies that we were playing here. But yeah, I don't know. What was the thing you liked the most about let's just start from the first one. We'll work our way through.
Yeah.
So the first Insidious. What was the thing that you genuinely enjoyed about that one?
They moved. They apparently had a whiteboard of tropes, so they started in a good place of, hey, what are the things that everyone does wrong in horror movies? Oh, they can't afford to move. So They don't move. So they don't even try. It's like they got a smaller house, or they moved in with his mom or something. And it's just like, yeah, that's what you would do in real life. Like, this house sucks. It's trying to kill my kid. I'm gonna move. And the fact that it legit followed them made it much more terrifying because there's nowhere you can go.
Yeah.
There's nowhere you couldn't fly to a different country because it'd be like on the plane with you.
I did like how they did the whole. I think the thing that made me like it a lot, and my favorite thing about it, was they showed things during the day.
Yeah.
You never see during the day hauntings in movies. It's always like, oh, like something's happening and it's nighttime, or my husband's at work and I'm here all alone, and it's an old house.
That trope! I have a whole box set of a haunting series, or Haunting the Haunting.
We watched a couple of them.
It was on, I think I saw it on Discovery initially. It must have been Discovery because they only do one show for hours and then they switch. Because I would watch that for hours.
Yeah.
And I found a box set and I was so excited. It's because I used to make Halloween props and I would have that on in the background, give some vibes. And it's always husband works third shift, wife's alone, usually with kids, and then she hears stuff in the house at night when he's gone.
And it's an old house. It's
always an old house.
Oh shit!
And the guy gets pissed because they just moved in, and they can't afford to move.
Yeah, that whole thing. The things that I really didn't like about it. One of them, because there was a lot that we didn't like about it. One of the things that really annoyed me with the movie, yes, was the jump scares with the audio thing. You don't need anybody who makes any kind of stupid horror movie thing. They always use the jump scare with the music, and the music is what scares me more than the actual visual. But when she's walking, and when they move into the new house and she's walking through I think it's like the laundry room, and the little boy's in the corner and he's like his back is to her. I didn't even see that, and I had watched the movie. That was like my second time watching it, like all the way through. The other times I've seen it's been like chunks or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did not even notice that until you said something, and then that made that more creepy, I think, to me. And I didn't like that was scary. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to show like you don't need to show all that. Like it doesn't. I don't need to see. Like I don't know, not see. I meant to say is you don't need to put the audio thing with it. I think it's more scary
Also,
to see it and
always,
think that you saw it. You know,
it's always 10 times too loud. And
Yeah.
someone said something about the scientific, that's the fight or flight noise. Like it has to get 50 decibels or something.
yeah, like
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. If it's the wrong number, don't at me. But it's supposed to be a scientific thing, so they think they're doing a smart, good job. And it's annoying, and then I get more angry, and it pulls me out of the movie.
Yeah, it's like it's. I almost find it like insulting, and it's almost like, well, you didn't have enough. You couldn't make the movie right there, so you had to throw that in there because you just like I don't know. It's the same thing of like too much blood or something in a slasher, you know. But I don't mind blood and violence in movies; it doesn't bother me. But like, there's that whole thing like over the top, you know. It's like when it's a little too much, and that to me
murder
goes right
porn,
there
I
with it.
believe.
Yeah, like your Saw movies and stuff. Like I don't know. That's
I think
kind
it's because we grew up on the orange blood.
yeah,
like
the
they would
80s
tint it
80s
so
movies and stuff.
like my brain thinks Tremors. It's not
Right.
a horror movie, but it would have been really nasty if it was like red blood.
Yeah,
It is a monster, but it made it easier to digest because it's not real. It's like that to me opens doors to people going, hey, I could do this in real life. This
Right,
isn't
yeah.
anything. Why would we want to encourage that? Like, that's a whole thing. Horror is supposed to be about suspense,
yeah,
and I'm always about story and characters, and if I don't believe the characters, I'm not in.
right.
You got characters that I care about, which they did very well, but the characters, the family, cared about the family right away.
That was the thing one of the notes I wanted to get to is there was strong acting in Insidious 1.
Yeah.
Like there was good acting in there. Like I did genuinely feel for them.
What's his face being adorable as heck?
Yeah, he's a great actor. I like that guy a lot. I can't remember his name, but I do enjoy him as an actor. I didn't like him. I think we've talked about that. The first time I ever seen him was on Phantom of the Opera. And those of you who don't know me, I am one of my secret pleasures in life is musicals. I absolutely love musicals.
Well, you have like 19 sisters, so if you didn't like it, it would be really horrible for you.
Yeah, probably. Why can't I get up in that branch?
You gotta believe. See, this is why I can't games, because it's like the second I couldn't jump and get the thing, I'm done.
Alright, yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna be done. I just wanted to get that little thing. I just wanted that
Secrets.
wanted that treat up there.
Oh. I like how his arms went up.
But yeah, I didn't like him the first time I seen him in a movie because it was Phantom of the Opera. Back to the whole musical thing. It was Phantom of the Opera, and I didn't like him in Phantom of the Opera. I thought he was awful. I couldn't stand him. He had an annoying face. But then I can't remember a movie I saw him after that. I think it was Watchmen, and I loved him ever since. I was like, man, that guy's cool. He's a good actor. But yeah, it was strong acting in the movie, to say the least, from everybody. I think everybody really brought it in that movie, as far as like, you know, believable faces and whatever they may do, like emotion or whatever. I think without that, I wouldn't have
Patrick
been.
Wilson is his name. Sorry.
I died.
I had to giggle it. Patrick Wilson, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
And I do remember being annoyed with him, because you want her to be with a Phantom, because, you know,
Well, yeah.
it's Gerard
Well,
Butler.
Gerard Butler, yeah.
kinda- Which is actually the first movie I saw Gerard Butler in, which is weird for everyone, I guess. But actually, my brother pointed out a line that Patrick Wilson sang that made him tear up a little bit when they're trying to rescue her, and he goes, "I tried so hard to save you." When he just kind of whispers it, I'm like, okay, I see it. Like, it just
Yeah.
kind of changed my perspective. So he was playing it better than I thought, I guess. But you're not supposed to root for him.
Yeah.
Hello, kitten. Yeah.
In Insidious, the first one there, the other thing that one of the big problems I had with it was the unaddressed thing with the gas mask. I didn't understand that, and after watching all the other ones after, they never explain it, which made it even worse to me.
It's because it's spookums. Oh no, you got impaled.
Oh, I looked away at I looked at a kitty real quick, and then
because he's flaunting his.
He's doing the fluff on the stomach. But I really, I don't know. That was weird to me.
It's just supposed to be it was that unsettling feeling that they're going for.
Yeah.
But it's almost the thing with Lost is like you were unsettled and scared, but then there was no payoff.
Right.
Which I'm not gonna get into that. I'll get upset.
Well, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. Like, okay, so she's got a gas mask on.
She talks quietly, so he can hear her better somehow, instead of, I don't know, like, could be wearing a mic.
Right, you can put a microphone on. I mean, oh man, again? Like, this microphone's like, we got our microphone like 2 feet away from us, and it's picking us up, I want to say, moderately okay. Yeah. But, yeah, it was weird to me. I mean, and those characters were cool. I didn't mind them. I'm like, yeah, they're likable people. They were all pretty okay.
How'd you feel about her boys?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Those guys were. Those are the guys I was trying to say. Like those guys were cool. I didn't mind them.
Their humor was a bit strange.
It felt like they were from a different movie.
Yeah.
It really did. It felt like I was watching characters from another movie.
Like the first one, I did not mind their sense of humor, but like as it went down, it seemed like it was more difficult for them to write the lines. It's like,
yeah, it didn't.
You know how the actors like just relax and ad-lib a little bit. Like not everyone can do that, but I don't know.
Well, the one guy who I can't remember
Ooh, it's a spider. I thought it was a tree.
The guy with the glasses. I can't remember his name, but I think he's actually one of the writers.
Apparently.
I think so. So I think it was him kind of writing in like his own character. He wanted like his character to do something.
So people couldn't say no?
I guess.
People tell writers no all the time.
I'm not sure how that all worked, but I don't know. Like I said, they felt like they were from a different movie.
Yeah. I think they had a spin-off at some point.
Yeah, it was Insidious 2, 3, and 4. that was her spin-off.
Oh, what are you doing there?
I'm stuck!
It's coming to get you!
Oh, man. My sister's never going to watch this one because of the spider.
Well, if you don't tell her there's a spider.
That's true.
Be pleasantly surprised and horrified.
Yeah, the mask thing was just not very good to me. And then the sudden power that the dad has all of a sudden, like, I thought that was a bit weird. It was like, I don't know. Like I said, it felt weird. Just all of a sudden, like, I met you when you were little, and you had powers, and we neuralized you somehow and made you forget. And I was like, I don't know.
I blame that on the M. Night Shyamalan era of there always has to be a big twist.
Oh, okay.
Because there doesn't always have to be a big twist.
No, it doesn't.
But everyone thinks there does.
I mean, the twist to me was the boy having his little, we'll say his gift. You know, I thought to me that was the twist. Like the kid had the power to go. That was enough for me.
Because how horrifying would that be as a parent to be like, I can't go in there and go get him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool that when they hypnotize him and he goes into that world, I thought that was cool. Like, yeah, that was pretty sweet. The ending...
Because maybe we could all do that. We just have to be in the right state of mind.
And
that took forever to end.
I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of weird. That kind of took me out of the movie.
That is, now that I think about it, where it started to get weaker.
Well, I lost...
oh, look at you.
It felt...
Night in a rock!
It felt spooky. The movie had the whole spooky vibe going really well, all the way up to that scene, I thought. Like, once the whole ritual, seance, whatever you want to call it, scene happened, I was lost in the movie. I was like, alright, I'm not taking this movie seriously anymore. Yeah,
it took me a while to digest the calling it the further.
Yeah, like her having a name for it and shit. Like, I don't know, like, they were really hard pushing let's
stop the movie for exposition.
Yeah, like, it's a power now. It's like, it's a gift. You know, you guys all have powers and gifts now. Like, this is a thing. I was like, okay,
That's actually a point that I make in the story that I was writing, is that people call stuff like that gifts, but I was like, no, this sucks.
You're right.
I don't want to live like this.
Ugh.
Oh, you got some on your head still.
Yeah, he's gonna. Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna just like lay there for a minute and think about life.
You look like the kind of guy to do that. You got some on your head still. I love it.
Now
Whoa.
let's move on to.
What is that?
Let's move on to the second.
Oh my god.
Let's move on to the second one.
Oh, that's dark.
Oh yeah.
Can kids play this game?
I don't know.
You just look up at it.
Oh, I did not see that happen.
The sharp pokey things.
Pokey stick things. But before we move on to talk about the next movie, the final note I would say about Insidious 1 is, all in all, it was a fun movie. It was fun. You know, you're very aware.
Nothing else in that year that was released and since then have even come close to hitting those feels for me. Because I know they still had that title card, which was a bit much, but no one was doing that at the time.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like the Inception sound effect.
Oh, dun.
Yeah, it wasn't anywhere, and then once that sound came out, everyone was like, let's use it for every trailer of all time, even like romantic comedies. It's like, stop.
She's just a girl that's never known anything else but her little town. Bum, 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 bum.
Then this handsome trucker with plaid comes in.
Played by Idris Elba.
Oh my god.
Idris Elba is like a romantic comedy trucker. That'd be great.
I do like him a lot, but I could not. I hate those
Couldn't
movies.
take him seriously with like the flannel rolled up with like the
Hi, I'm a girl and I don't watch Hallmark.
The down vest and the John Deere hat.
The squint.
Yeah.
Let's see the squint. Huh?
Yep. I mean, I love Idris Elba, but his American accent is pretty obvious that he's not American.
Yeah. Has he ever done a movie where he has his
good accent? Yeah, he's done a few.
I always call it the wrong side of London.
Wrong side of London.
Accent. It's like, oh.
No offense to my London people if anybody's watching this from London.
Because it's like the Cockney of London, except for not as hillbilly. If that makes any sense. I mean that in a loving way. I love it. Like Attack the Block. Oh, so good. Oh, we're like derailing our subject so hard today.
I know. Well, it's because we have a lot to talk about. We got a lot to get through still. We still got 3 other movies to talk about. But before we move on to the other Inception, to the other Insidious film, the second one, Chapter 2.
Do you want to talk about the lipstick demon?
Yeah, actually, that's what I was talking about.
Haha, reading your mind.
Ooh.
Was that a flaming tire?
The flaming tire. Gotta try to avoid it. The lipstick demon. His design. What'd you think of it?
I remember someone saying, like Darth Maul kind of colors, cause his freeze frame, which they have at the end of every single film, but he doesn't do anything. And it's like it's a different color. Like they didn't film anything from him since the first movie, and they just put him in and went, remember when it was good?
Yeah, you remember this guy?
And it looks more like a guy that had a bad tattoo experience than a demon to me.
Yeah, well, the guy who plays him, I guess, is I guess he's like a composer or something. And he looks like he's like in a rock band or something. He's got like a mohawk and he's got like piercings and whatnot.
And like you had the same reaction that my little brother did when they had the shot of the hooves, because like humans can't wear hooves, so it's probably like someone with a stick or something, which I appreciate them doing practical, because it would have been so much worse if they would have had CGI hooves.
Some CGI hooves.
And if it is CGI hooves, then like a slow clap. Oh, your head came off. But both of you guys laughed.
It was,
and
yeah.
That's the thing that you don't want in a horror movie is, oh look at the monster.
Yep.
Like, you don't do that for Cloverfield. You're like, holy shit.
No, Cloverfield's creepy, but that's that I don't know. It was weird to me too. I was like, he looked cool from a distance when like the freeze frame, you can see like when he's behind him and he's making that creepy face. And it's like, whoa, it's scary. It's right there. It's the first time you see it. It looks creepy. But
humans fear what they can't see, so it's things because your brain fills it in, which is the whole like Hitchcock kind of part of horror that I hold way more dear than any modern anything.
Yeah.
Is that the show don't tell is a thing, but like right here, you don't see the whole spider all the time. The legs are creepy enough. You don't need to like have a close up on his little spider lips that would make it funny.
I die. He's like carrying me away. Woo!
Gotta feed his children.
But yeah, I don't know. And the other designs from the other ones were not. I don't know. I thought I kind of found them all kind of lacking, even after the lipstick demon.
It's like, have you never had a nightmare in your whole life that like that's the most you could do? Like, I'm pretty sure, like in early childhood, I had worse nightmares than that. I don't know if that says something more about me than the movie industry. Probably.
Oh man. Missed it. He's gonna get me. I don't know. And they moving on to the second movie really quick. The continuation was good. I liked it that they kind of kept the story going.
Yeah, I was like, we didn't have enough time to tell you all in one sitting. It's like the way to do a sequel for sure.
Yeah. And my biggest problem with the second one had to be that they killed off the older lady. I can't remember her name right now.
Elise.
They killed off Elise, and it's like, okay, we're gonna kill her in the first movie, but we're gonna make all the other movies about her. So we're gonna hop back and give every movie is basically an origin story. And I was like, I didn't like that.
I hate
like, why don't
that.
you just keep her alive and just keep her going? Like, you couldn't have had him do the classic, like, oh, instead of the demon like waking up in the guy and then choking her out, like, why couldn't it just be like, he hits her over the head or something and knocks her out? That would have been a bit more, I don't know, believable, I guess.
Well, I think you said something earlier about like having her in a coma.
Yeah, so I meant,
because
like,
if
knock
you
her out.
have like damage to the brain, like not enough oxygen, you have problems.
Yeah.
So if someone walked in on Josh doing that, Josh, the character of Patrick Wilson, maybe someone else walked in on him doing that, and he had to stop and kill them instead. Like, have another character.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe it's because they didn't want to go that dark. Like, because thinking about who else was in the room. Also, it took them so long.
I did
to get to her. They had showed the shot of
time.
The living room and the kitchen. They're probably as far away as ours, maybe like 12 feet.
Well, it's an old house,
It's an old house, so I'm not hearing someone going, ah! Dropping a camera and him going, I'm gonna kill you.
Like, you would think after something like that, realizing that there's another world behind the world and demons and everything in between, that you wouldn't be more on your guard or even quicker to go. On that. And then, like, the whole thing on the other movies when you're watching it and everybody's, like, watching something scary or they're reading something scary. It's like, you have that realistic experience in your life and you're going to go back and you're just going to, like, delve into that.
I think it's supposed to be, it's definitely not realistic because, like, if I watch something that scares me too much, I watch Disney movies after. But it might be a nod from the production team going, oh, this is what inspired this. Look, this line is like this line. It's like, oh, okay. Like, sometimes that works and sometimes that doesn't. Ew.
He's got one leg left.
And you're gonna mess with him?
Oh, he's trying to get me.
You're insane.
Bounce.
It's terrible.
Bong. Bong.
That's mean. He can't do anything.
Aha, that is the point.
I don't understand what I'm looking at right now.
It's the spider's body. I crushed him with a boulder.
And now he's sad.
Your leg.
Oh, gross. Like, if you wouldn't have jumped on that orifice, they wouldn't have gooped you, like, super bad.
Maybe.
Sorry, orifice is a bad word for ears.
So is cunt. Take that, YouTube.
Oh, God, we're gonna be flagged.
And that and anybody who listens to that's gonna be like, oh, you said the C word. I did say the C word. And I might even say it again later on in other times. Who cares? It's a word. Chill out. We're talking about scary stuff. Anyways, moving on to part 2. What did you think of that the demon bride thing, the black bride or whatever they called it?
I did like the twist that it was a guy, because it was something I wasn't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And there are families that have problems like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sleepaway camp kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I love sleepaway camp.
So good. Spoilers, I guess.
We're going to have to do one of those, an episode, and talk about that.
I think it's a rarity, but that's what's make it extra scary. But looking at his mom, she would have been she was way more intense.
Yeah, than him being the demon.
I'm wearing an outfit. And his switch of personality of he didn't want to kill, but he killed.
Yeah.
And then the line of, I haven't felt pain in so long.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't miss it as much as inflicting pain on others. Like, that implied he enjoyed it. And the rest of the movie set up, that he didn't enjoy it and his mom made him do it.
Yeah.
So that falls back into my, if you can't make a character properly, I'm not in it. Like, so that kind of thing would be like pulling me out.
No, I agree with that too. I wasn't a big fan of that either. I didn't like I also didn't
calm
really,
down and know what you're doing.
I just didn't really get it either. It's like, okay, so is he a demon? Is he possessed? Is he in personality? Is his mom there? Is it not his mom? Like,
well, they set up in at the end of 1 that he's definitely possessed, and then it's like, then they pretend that it might be him later. It's like, no, that's not right. That was those little things on the ceiling just wiped my whole memory.
Yeah, I know. I had to stop for a second too.
Like, what?
Well, I haven't played this game in so long. Like,
I only
probably
saw
about
like half a playthrough.
Probably about 9 years I haven't played this game. So it's been a minute for me.
Oh, you're
a lot of stuff I'm kind of figuring out for the
Girls can
first
still
time.
move.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, and then they introduced the whole they did the whole there was a whole superhero team almost, like the guy with the dice and I don't know.
The guy with the dice, like the Simpsons guy I talked about, his powers changed all the time.
Yeah,
to serve the plot.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And it's like, if you're a guy that does seances, that's totally different than a guy that's like, I can touch an object and get a memory from the guy.
Yeah.
Those are two different things. And in the setup for the beginning, when they were talking about, it's like, you said something to Elise about how he was scared.
Mm-hmm.
And never done anything like that before, implied that he didn't have any
no
abilities like that.
Yeah.
So you can maybe he dipped his toes in things and unlocked something, but that would have been cool to explain. But he was just like, this is our other Elise.
This is Elise.
This is Elise. We made a mistake. Here he is again. What if you could be possessed by good people, and he could have been like, hi, I'm Elise, I'm borrowing him for a while, hi, how you doing? This is helping. Is that...
Yeah.
Oh, that is game noise. I thought that was like
that
traffic. Is like, are we having
I
a
was like,
tornado
whoa.
drill?
Yeah.
What?
Sorry about that, folks.
Gotta go
The
on.
sudden pause in our audio track there. Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit much for him in the movie to have him there.
The
I thought.
stupid freaking toy. They were trying to do a poltergeist thing.
Oh well, I see. That would have been more interesting. Was him, because that was supposed to be him. That was supposed to be Josh's character stuck in the further or whatever, and that was all the poltergeist stuff was him like trying to get her attention. I thought that was cool, and I was like, yeah, that would have been a cool twist to have that. They should have used that more in the movie.
Like, what if it was sporadic? Like, once she looked at it, it would do specific beep boops that it never did.
Yeah.
And she had to be married to him for at least like 12 years or so because of the age of the children, right?
Yeah.
So, or married or get with or whatever. So, you know someone that well. Like, I feel like I know you pretty well. We've been together for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Not that long, but you're not gonna know when that's not your husband?
Right. It'd be like me all of a sudden. Like, you can tell when I've had a rough day or when there's something on my mind already, you know. Like,
then his skin's going all gray and his teeth are falling out.
Wrinkly and shit.
And you're like cool with that?
He's got to
like,
be smelling. Yeah. There's got to be a funk
get more
coming
sleep,
from this guy.
and like it seems like he would, if it was truly that abused old man, that he would be a lot more edgy and not able to fake a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like the being kind and interacting with the kids and stuff. Like, it seems like he would be weird with the kids. And instead he was just like, look, I'm a good dad.
Yeah,
me,
I'm a little bit more edgy now, you know.
Yeah, it's like they should have wiggled right in there. They should have leaned into that. Of her going, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if he's still a ghost, if like his spirit is out of his body, seems like he could manifest but not be solid. You know, like, what if he was like at the foot of her bed and like she's laying next to him and be like, what, is he out of his body again, or what's happening? And he could be like, help me.
Something, yeah.
Something.
They should have highlighted.
If he would had powers to go out of his body,
right.
It seems like he'd be able to be like, yo, hey, or go to his son, who also has those powers, be like, Dalton,
right?
That's not me.
Wife, who's been like terrified and has the worst reaction time for things. I'm gonna try to reach her instead of trying to reach out to my son, who has power, who can go out and do this thing, like, who's basically the same level of him, of like telekinetic or whatever you want to call her, telepathic, or however you want to refer to that.
What do they call them? Travelers.
Thing. Travelers, yeah. Sorry.
Or her reaction time for her baby too, like, bothered me through the whole saga.
Yeah, that was pretty annoying.
It's like, I hear something on the baby monitor and I'm just gonna stare with my mouth open instead of going, oh my god, that's in my baby's room. I'm not gonna move until my baby cries though. Because you don't want to wake her up.
You can hear somebody like in her room, and you're gonna just wait.
Oh.
Like, we don't have kids. I don't have kids, but I've grown up around a lot of like little kids. Like, my family has lots of babies in my family, and I've never once been like, yeah, like, oh, that's weird. No, if I heard like something like that, I'm like, holy crap, grab the kids, like.
Yeah, I don't even like babies, and that it's an instinct. Like, you see a baby eat shit at the park, you go, oh no, like, gotta pick up that baby. Or you see him about to teeter, right. You're like, you gotta save the baby. It's an instinct in people.
And again, she's still feeling all that crap from the first movie, and she still leaves her kid alone all the way upstairs away from her. Like, nah, man.
I'd be caring.
Yeah, you would be sleeping in the
I'd
same
be
room
following
as me.
Dalton around all the time.
For
like,
sure.
Hey, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? I wouldn't be able to sleep because if he's asleep, what if he doesn't wake up? They didn't do any of that. They did the forehead kiss from Grandma saying, don't leave us again. But it was like, Mom seemed to be really super easy to adjust that her kid fell asleep, didn't wake up, had to get hospital stuff in their home.
Right.
Oh, the one line that my brother and I favorite from the first one. It's like, I don't like when Dalton walks around at night. From the first one. It's like, and then they look at him and he's in his hospital bed, like, so that
implied the other little brother had something going on too.
Yeah, so, like, you don't go to your kids and be like, yo,
like, what's up with that?
Someone's in my body, help me out.
But all in all, the second one, I guess, for me, was a little bit lacking the most. I think that's when I really started to see stuff kind of drop a little bit more, was in the second, because it didn't have any of the... I stopped looking at them as, like, scary movies and horror movies, or even suspenseful thrillers. I looked at them as kind of like, this is in the verge now of, like, science fiction for me. This is science fiction and not scary at all anymore.
Which I like. Like, I would have liked if it was just the two movies and it would have stopped.
Yeah.
Because transitioning, the rest are prequels.
Let's
all of them.
Let the quick little final note on the second movie. Like, I didn't like it. That's my final note on the second one. Did I like the second one? No.
I thought the mom was way scarier than the bride.
Yeah. I didn't like the second one. There was nothing the second one brought that really got me.
That violin riff, though, when the bride comes up and she's like, because they never show her walking, she's just kind of gliding, or she, or whatever.
Yeah.
That violin that really got me my first few times watching it. It definitely made the goosebumps happen. So, like, props to the composer. Good job.
Good job, guy.
Good job. You want to talk about how all the prequels sucked? You want to just lump them all in one, or?
We might as well. Moving on to part 3, or chapter 3, is what it was, and that would refresh my memory. That was the one with the girl who gets who gets
comically extreme injuries.
She gets acme'd by the car. She gets hit like the Roadrunner.
Yeah, that got you good. That was funny.
I felt bad. I mean, this is the thing. Whenever I watch gore movies, I've been desensitized by that. 'Cause ever since I was a little kid, I've been watching movies like crazy, just nonstop. Like, I've always been a night owl, so I stay up late, snuck downstairs, what have you. Anyways, so when I see like big, elaborate, like over the top kills or over the top injuries in movies, I know it's fake. I know it's not there. So my only thing that my brain tells my body to do is, that's funny. Laugh at that. So I laugh at it.
And then I punch him.
Yeah, then I get a nudge. But yeah, it was, I don't know. That one, it felt like I was watching a little weird little brain slug that makes me only move in one direction.
Oh.
It felt, what did I tell you? It felt like it was everybody's like, I don't know, like something just to throw out there, like something to put on my resume. Like I was in a horror movie. This is my resume for this horror movie.
I think it might have been one of those classic, someone presented a horror movie script and they went, well, if we mess with it and like slam our head against the script a little bit, we can put this we can force it into the Insidious universe. It's like, it would have been way better on its own.
Yeah.
Without all that gubbins, because like the black footprints and stuff, that was cool. You're laughing because you're thinking of the one time where the ghost looked like it fell, and then you're like, it's a comedy now.
It is, because like it was spooky, like the whole knocking on the wall, and then she's like texting her neighbor buddy, and he's like, I'm not home, and she's like, oh god, you know, that whole thing freaking her out, and then she gets that, and she's like, huh, and then goes to bed. She just goes to sleep. I was like, that's so stupid.
Were you like, Dad?
Right, yeah, like message your dad, say, hey, like somebody's in their house over there, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Anything.
I think someone may have broke into our neighbor's house. Right. Can you go up with your legs that aren't shattered and, like, make sure no one's over there?
Let's talk real quick about how the acting went from, like, level 9 on the first one to, like, level 4 on the third one.
I think it's also because the dad was so cliche.
I'm too busy. I'm so busy.
Like, what do you do you got like a jumpsuit. What are you doing?
Yeah, they never say, are you a mechanic? Are you,
Also, why are
pilot?
you
Like,
not
what
at
are
work?
you? Yeah, every time you see you're not at work.
The trope of the sun is up and the kids are getting ready for school. It's like, is this in America? Because they send their kids to school at 7. It is dark.
Right, that teenage girl would have been in high school by like 7:15, 7:45. The sun would have barely been coming up.
Yeah, the little brother would have been in later, which would also make it the dad's problem.
Right.
Also, don't be a douche
I hate
and make
that
your
trope.
older kid
I hate that so much.
Does that happen in real life? Leave a comment.
Are you a older sibling and get all the responsibilities to take care of your other siblings because your parents suck? Leave a comment down below and let us know.
I feel like they feel like it's their responsibility. They're like, my mom would go, "Can you do this?"
Yeah.
Means do this or I'll be angry.
See,
but she doesn't say, "Wake up your brother." She would go, "Can you see if your brother's awake?" It means go wake up your brother, but it's a different dialogue.
yeah.
It's like such an easy fix. Such an easy fix. Also, that little brother, that poor actor, it's like the most cliche as well. It's like, I'm annoying. It's like, what age are you? And then suddenly he's helpful. And,
I'm obnoxious.
yeah. Like, I know my little brother was 1 year younger than me, but he would have never embarrassed me in front of a guy that he thought I liked. He would have, like, little brothers know usually when to draw the line, or maybe mine was that cool. Maybe mine was just cool.
Coming from me being the youngest in my family, being a little brother, I do remember my mom having my sisters, like, take care of us because she was going to do something. But my mom was going to take care of things, or, there was a lot of us.
She wasn't there in the background, like,
you should be doing this.
Moving plates around instead of doing dishes.
I thought you went to the grocery store. What the hell?
You couldn't go to the grocery store after work like any other adult?
Yeah, there's no food in the house. Like,
you mean
you're
quinoa?
You're just now realizing that, man.
Yeah, that's probably why she laughed at him.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty bad. And then I kind of called, like, a lot of stuff was pretty predictable in the movie, too.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those where when I was watching it, I'm like, did I see this? Or did I see, like, an online breakdown? And I legit don't know. Because it was very one-dimensional. It didn't get any moment that they tried to pull an emotional moment.
They did try to do that a couple times.
They tried, and I was just like, I don't... Like, I did not care if the characters lived or died. Like, that sounds really mean, but, like...
No, it sounds realistic.
When horror movies, like, any time you see a horror movie that's bad, what's bad with it? A bunch of characters that are all cliche that you don't care if they live or die, and then the killer chases them or whatever, and then... Or whatever happens, and you're like, sure was a movie. What's that cute little guy?
It's a little critter I gotta try to capture.
To cuddle?
Sure.
What is it, like a frog?
It's a weird little, like, hamster thing or something. You gotta go in here so you can do that.
Oh no. Now I can't get out! What a horrible life. Hamster power. There we go. Clean energy. Where's that?
Made rain.
Well, the oil companies
Good
would
job,
be
little
all up in there and be like, oh no.
Back to the Insidious 3 though, really quick.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. This is how all of our conversations go, so it's all good. I just finally decided to start recording them. I don't know. The third one had a lot of things in there for potential of make a good movie, but like they got her, like she became like possessed and she started like fighting back, and they did the whole like try to do the exorcism thing.
The walking on the broken legs.
Yeah.
Was a good moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a good moment, but I was like, oh, that's different. And that's also would be freaking horrifying if my daughter who broke her legs is walking towards me.
Yeah, and then when she gets the demon taken out of her, she's like magically healed. Everything's fine. She's okay. Like broken legs that she got, mind you, before she was possessed, she got fucking acme'd by the car. But then when the demon came in her and jumped out, she was fine.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get.
I did like the breathing the demon that can't breathe.
Yeah, the man
or
who,
like the man who can't breathe.
the man who can't breathe,
which
yeah.
is I do feel like people that are so full of hate, that die full of hate, do become demons. That's kind of a thing that I believe in my heart.
Yeah.
And as someone who is just so bitter, and he can't breathe, and he wants things, and he doesn't want to be alone, so he, like, that's something that could have been dealt with, but they breeze over things that they shouldn't, and then they focus on things that they don't need to focus on. Was basically the whole movie.
I really didn't like how, like, they came into her story. I keep forgetting her name.
Elise?
Elise, yeah. They
It's almost like my name, but weird.
Well, they brought her in, and then it was like she had already, like, retired, and she's like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore."
That's also a cliche.
I was like,
so,
I was done with that.
That
too.
whiteboard of cliches, I don't know where they put it.
Underline.
But after the first movie, they must have just put it in the dumpster, because they never tried to do anything like that ever again.
What did you... Now, all in all, final note on the third movie now. What was it for you? Like it? Was it a movie?
0.3 stars.
Yeah, it was a movie.
It was a movie.
It was a movie.
It hit movie notes.
Now, we finally made our way to the last key.
Was there another one in between that?
No, it was 1, 2, 3, and 4. The last key was the last one.
See, that's how forgettable the prequels were.
And they're probably going to make another one because money, probably. But the last key was... The last key, the whole movie I just could not take seriously.
Definitely the worst of all.
Could not take seriously.
Well, because there's no tension. All of your main characters are in all the other prequels.
Or in the first ones, yeah.
So it's like, well, she's being choked out again. Is that a fetish? That guy casually murders the fool, and then there's emotional
nothing
conflict
about it. Yeah,
he's sitting on a step looking kind of sad, and she's like, there's monsters that are humans too. Are you telling kids that be like, that guy stole that lady's purse so you couldn't drop a big anvil on his head?
The guy did have a girl chained up in the basement, so...
Yeah, but then they later said, like, all bad things are done by a demon.
Right.
Like, my dad that beat me. Like, I'm fairly confident that there are men all over the world that beat women that are not possessed by demons. So, cool movie for making that okay for them to do. So victims can be like, it's not his fault. Like, no, it is. It's like, you're not supposed to hold hate in your heart, but
yeah, no, I get you there.
But in that case, it's just like,
I don't know. It was a bit weird, and it just like it didn't. Everything seemed really pushed and really forced on there.
More torture porn than I wanted. Like, I don't like horror movies. Like I said, like that. It's just, let's see how much brain matter we can expel in this film.
Right.
It's like, that's not scary to me. That's just nasty. And it hit all those flavors for me, so I was just very much aware that I was watching a movie instead of being sucked in. Like Insidious, I had a blanket over my head and I watched by myself for the first time.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was watching a movie.
I will say that one scene at the beginning when she's talking, and she thinks she's talking to her little brother, and she's talking to the ghost that's on the top of the bunk bed.
Yeah.
That part was scary.
Well, did you ever sleep in bunk beds?
Yes.
Because I think that's why it was scary for me, too.
But that was creepy.
You can say, like, that's where it came from, and then they morphed it into let's just make it Elise.
It felt like Insidious, The Last Key, felt like they had ideas for cool scenes, so they just kind of, like, try to hit them all and put them into the same story.
For some reason, when you said that, I thought of Elf when he goes, I have some ideas, and then just walks away.
See, this is the idea I would have liked to see in The Last Key. Was it made it seem like The Last Key, all the doors, that whole deal, and they had a bunch of keys on his hands, which they never talk about why it's like electricity or anything like that. It's just like how he has like the shock thing going on. Never talk about that. Never talk about why he has all those keys.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting.
He just wants to open doors. What I thought would have been a cool idea was The Last Key, like all those keys that he has on his hands would have been like each one would have been a different story. and each one would have been a different kid that had the same powers.
Yeah.
Like that, and all those doors would have been him opening all them up, and Elise would have been the last one that he needed, but she's the one that's been resistant or something. That would have made more sense as opposed to like just this monster that they put in the prop department. Like, well, wouldn't it be creepy to have something that had keys for fingers? Like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, the whole thing about keys and the mystery of keys, and like I love skeleton keys. I think they're beautiful. It's a lot of those like old-fashioned car kind of thing of back when there was craftsmanship instead of everything's like a hard angle. It's what do they open? What mysteries do they unlock? And they forgot about that somehow. It's like, what is the red door? Where does that come from? How many are there? What's behind them? Because previously, anytime we're in the further, red doors are just like other people's memories or a way to travel through the further. It's not like in Supernatural when they're unlocking like the apocalypse basically by doing seals. It's like when they initially said, I need you to open the doors, it's just like each door that she would unconsciously open as a kid would let the demon get stronger.
Yeah, they could have done
and
something
I was
like
hyped
that.
for that.
Yeah.
Until they just delved into the therapy that someone had to go through of, I don't know who wrote that movie, but were you beat by your father and you needed this movie to help like cope, then that's fine, but I didn't have to see it. Oh no, you're gonna drown.
I'm a little too far away. I'm gonna drown.
Well, that's horrifying. Still scarier than Insidious the Last Kid.
Limbo is still scarier than most horror movies out there. Yeah, I don't know. There was
the dad. They basically, it's the problem of we didn't read the script, but they forgot we didn't read the script. So it's he's a prison warden. Like, you didn't show him in the prison, like, being an asshole to those guys.
No, you just show him
because that would have been also
typical...
a way to be like, he's confused on how to discipline his kids because that's how he disciplines.
Right.
Like, there's none of that. They didn't delve into the spirits of the electric chair. They didn't do that of, hey, this is a guy from next door that we executed. Now he's in my house. Would have been a better scary movie. The guy that played the dad, I love the actor. He's adorable. And he has the bluest eyes ever. And he, as the CinemaSins guy said, he didn't want to be there as much as we didn't want to be there. That's what it felt like, which is like, golly, I want to pay for lunch. Here I am, doing my thing.
That one was very much not what I wanted either. Like, when I watched it took away everything I had of, like, as far as, like, like, scary movie goes. Like, it wasn't scary to me. Like, after that, I was just like, this isn't...
Well, that's initially why I started my first good series that I'd like to put out there at some point. Because I was frustrated. I'm like, why is it so hard to make a horror movie? Why is it so hard to make a ghost story? Like, they're one of the most infamous things in American culture and cultures all over the world. It's like, what do you tell around a campfire? You try to scare your friends.
Right.
So why is it so hard to put on film? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, but they need more jump scares and
Nathan,
possession.
Nathan, my little brother, shout out to Nathan. Hi.
Hi, Nathan.
He says because they're cheaper to make.
Yeah.
They're cheap to make, so there's a lot of them. They're drowning a lot.
Yeah, this is like the worst puzzle I have on this.
Shredder, my foot's falling asleep. Oh, Shredder's the cat, sorry. But it's like they're cheap to make, so you got a lot of very crap movies.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a lot of culture in them. Like, we're watching the Kill Count, Dead Meat, shout out also, Dead Meat podcast, and YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of culture and, like, the exploration of practical effects and how we wouldn't be where practical effects are if it wasn't for horror movies. And some of them are so good, it just, you have to dig, like, in the bin at Walmart to find them. You have to get in there. and like toss the other ones aside. Like I've seen so many bad scary movies.
Seen more bad than good. I've seen.
Yeah.
There's some that still get me even to this day that still kind of cringe me up a bit.
I got a multi-pack of werewolf movies because I'm on the hunt for good werewolf movies. If you have any, leave them in the comments. Thank you. But I got them, and it was like 4 or 5 movies on DVDs. I liked one of them. I didn't love it, but I liked one of them. And you can always tell when a movie's made out of love. And definitely the first Insidious had some love in there, and the rest of them did not.
Yeah. I don't know. The last one, too, was just... They didn't like how they brought the niece in there and she had powers too, just to like give plot convenience. It was just, I don't know.
Well, it's just such a blatant, like, we're gonna continue, don't worry.
With a younger person.
With a younger person.
Which
that
is kind of an insult.
A smaller waist and
Another quick jump back to the second one though. Like let's hop back really quick to the second one, just on a final note there for the Insidious movies. I didn't like how they brought her in at the end there. She's like a ghost that kind of lingers with the guys.
I heard you calling.
Yeah, but she does. I mean, if they're gonna do that, fine. But then they show her turn around and she sees something, and they never talk about that again.
Like that could have been what the continuation was quite easily. Is you have a team investigating, and you have a ghost on your side, so. Like, that would be interesting and different and cool.
That would make everything
and I've been waiting for that. And they're not doing it. And I don't know. It was right there.
Something I forgot to mention when I looked over my notes here a little bit ago was what the constant formula that they use in scary movies. Does that bother you? How they always have the demons or the spirits, whatever's haunting, is always playing mind games. Like, it always messes with your mind. Like, I always hated that, and they always try to make the person seem like they're crazy, like, oh, like everybody thinks I'm dumb or nobody believes me. Like I'm so tired of that too in movies. Like, that annoys the hell out of me.
I haven't dove into demons in my book series that I've yet to do anything with, mostly because it makes me uncomfortable. It's just like there's a nasty, ugly spirit, just like you would meet a nasty, ugly person, and it's a lot of echoes. Like if someone was killed or they had such sadness, that would come across in echoes of like a burn in the house. I feel like that would be way more common than someone opening cupboards and then shutting them.
Yeah, messing around in the kitchen.
Yeah, like, oh, the cupboards are open, which I know happens in real life.
Yeah. Or 3 knocks.
It's a mocking of the Trinity.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot, but it's just like thinking back on that. That's what I don't want to have in my series. It's just like
they're so cliche. And it's
in
so
my
bad
mind,
now.
they would like pull off your energy,
Right.
so they would make you exhausted. Like you wouldn't be able to sleep. They would torment you when you were sleeping, and it would be more of that. Instead of like moving things around, it would be like I have the stepdad rather getting angry, and like he's angry at everything. It's like the leeching off emotions and
right. That would make more sense than like them moving stuff around in the house and freaking like they want you to be afraid. Like, yeah, but by making you afraid, they're gonna keep moving stuff around in the kitchen and turning a light on and off.
Like a cup. Like I don't think I ever wrote that in.
I don't know. That's to me, those kind of things are just annoying.
Boring.
So it's boring, yeah, and it makes to a point where you realize that you're watching one movie and you're watching all of them in a sense.
Because the only time that would make sense to me, a girl I used to work with, her husband got in a terrible car accident. And she's like, I didn't believe in ghosts, and now I do, because sometimes I feel him by my bed, and he used to leave the cupboard door open. The cupboard door is open, and, like, sometimes when she walks in the kitchen, they're open, like, he was there looking for something and left them open, and they used to fight about that. So, that would make sense to me, like, a loved one mimicking old behaviors.
Yeah.
That's the only time that would be, like, that seems like that's real. but just like opening and shutting doors and
Yeah,
moving a cup
it's
slightly to the left.
I know I didn't put that there. So to
Can
end,
we Photoshop all of those, but with a kitty cat?
oh, that'd be great. It's a cat moving.
Someone can Photoshop. If you beat us to it, freaking go for it.
So to end this off here, let's oh no, video clip ended. So to end us off here, are we gonna talk about I would like to talk about that if we had our chance to make the next Insidious movie. Just a little quick synopsis, if you can. What would you have the main characters be, and what would you have the ghost or spirit? What would you choose for those two things? Character story
the
and spirit.
logical continuation is what we already talked about, where Elise is a ghost, and they're continuing. They're trying to help people on their own, and she's teaching them how to do it, and maybe they find someone else that can not necessarily take her place, but like help them out so she can go to heaven or whatever she wants to go.
So she can move on.
So it's like an investigation of like trying to find someone that could help people or give them the avenue to do that. The family could be anybody. I really the only Paranormal Activity I liked was the one, it wasn't in a ghetto, but they were in like a big old building.
Oh, the marked ones?
The marked ones,
Yeah,
I
that was
think
really
was
good.
the only good one.
That was good.
And no one ever talks about it. But just like a family where grandma's with them. And not a housekeeper that believes in the blah blah blah. Because, for Christ's sake, I just want to throw my head through a window every time they do that. It's like, oh, Maria, do you know about ghosts? Like, oh, I do. I grew up with this ritual. It's like, no, you didn't. You did it. That's racist.
If I had to choose to make the next Insidious movie, I would have it be about the son, about the little boy from the first one.
Yeah.
You go back to that one, because that kid's older now. Time has gone by. He's older. And I would like to see it be about him and his little brother. And, like, it's from his perspective, because I'd say that kid's probably probably 18 now, probably around there. He's probably
they
old
were very
enough.
close in age.
He's probably old enough, and I would like to have, like, the brother is seeing things, or he's feeling like something going on.
Because he didn't forget.
Because they show him hypnotize the son and the wife and the dad, but they never show the other brother. So, like, have him, like, have these memories coming back up, and because Elise is no longer living, and she's moved on, what have you, now her little hex or spell, whatever you want to call it, has now worn off of the boy, and now he's starting to see things again, and now he's starting to feel things again. And what ends up happening is that his dad is let's just say, like I said, the fictional sites, his dad is gone. His dad's dead. Mm-hmm. And he keeps thinking that he sees...
Patrick Wilson has better things to do. Good.
Oh, yeah. He keeps thinking that he sees... the other brother, the little brother, keeps thinking that he sees their dad and talks to their dad. Turns out that it's somebody else who's talking to him and doing all this stuff. And he has to basically stop this thing from taking his little brother.
Yeah, because I think initially they said something about when Josh was a kid that the bride in black befriended his spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, his spirit was cool with him, so maybe, like, that's how that goes.
Right.
Hi, I'm your buddy. I'm definitely not gonna murder you.
I would like to see it. I would like to see that movie, though. See it done like that. Like, give that boy some chance to kind of show himself a little more in film, for one, and then end the story with a bigger bang. Like, have him not only just helping his, like, little brother, but he has to find, like, other, like, maybe, like, he's not strong enough, so he has to find other people that are like him to help him.
I didn't really like
cool.
that they forgot.
I didn't like that either.
Obviously, the whole thing of why the first movie happened is because he forgot. Like, if he wouldn't have forgot, he would have been like, Dalton, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't fall asleep and fly away. That's not cool. Don't do that. The end.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, for final thoughts on the whole Insidious saga as of now? How do you feel about it? The whole thing. Would you recommend it? No. I would recommend the first one and then stop there.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be severely disappointed, you can watch the rest. In my opinion,
1 and possibly 2, not the other ones.
yeah, everything else after that's kind of pig wash. I don't
Because
really care
I
for
was
it.
very excited when I first found the first Insidious. Like, my imagination was going crazy and how they were going to finish it, and
Yeah.
they couldn't live up to that, I guess.
For sure.
It's like maybe it was a script rush, maybe someone had too much say.
I mean, they're fun.
Anytime something usually goes wrong like that, it's 9 times out of 10 corporate's fault.
Yeah. I mean, they were, I guess, all in all the movies together, I guess that was a bit harsh for me to say they were all pig wash. They're not awful films. Obviously, they're some kind of love went into them.
I think they are.
Some kind of love went into them. People made them. They got paid for it, whatever. So
It's
I
fine, they
mean,
got paid.
watch them, whatever. Still think the first and second one are the only ones that are worth anything. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think about them. Not the worst movies in the world, but definitely not the best in their genre at all.
You do much better. Do better.
We will do better. We're going to live on. We're going to survive.
Oh, that's the next one, Independence Day.
Yeah, I think the next movies we're gonna watch, I think we're gonna go for some sci-fi movies and see what we like out of that. And,
I'm not watching the new Independence Day, though.
have you seen it yet?
I don't want to.
No, I'm gonna make you watch it now.
No.
You say you don't want to. Now we're gonna watch it because you have to watch it. You have to. If we're gonna talk about Independence Day movies in the next one, you're gonna have to watch the second one. That's just how it is.
But
So the
it's
next time
poopy.
So the next time you catch one of these here, we will have Independence Day and Independence Day 2 underneath our belt, and you will hear us blabber on about it, and you will hear Ellie talk about how much she absolutely hated the second one.
Oh.
But thank you for sitting with us here and talking about Insidious movies and how we feel about them, and let us know how you feel about them. Which one did you like? Which one you did not like?
Has anyone even seen The Last Key except for us?
Have you seen them? Which one's your favorite? All that good jazz.
Which character is your favorite?
Spit some of your mind out on the comments, and don't be afraid to hit that like button. And you should definitely not be afraid to subscribe. There's more content coming, and there's more of us coming.
No jump scares.
No jump scares, I promise. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys again in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.